So we're here with Dan Crist today at Edmonds Woodway High School. He's got practice today, but it's pouring down rain, so they're going to work in the gym today. We wanted to summarize what's going on with the boys from the fall. What's going on with the boys tennis team from the fall, because they'll play at state at the end of the girls' season.
Right, end of state tournament's always over the Memorial Day weekend. So state guidelines say that they can't practice while other sports are going on during the school year. So it'll get opened up to them May 1st. Young Han, Kim both qualified for state in doubles, and they'll come back out the first week of May. They have to re-qualify, get 10 practices in, and then we'll go to state. We'll leave that Thursday from school and play the Friday before Memorial Day.
And Young Ha and Young Han are brothers, right?
Two brothers. Young Ha's a senior, Young Han is a junior.
So now we're with the girls, and when did that start?
Girls' season started on February 28th, a week ago Monday, and the weather was so bad it took us a long time to. Usually we can figure out the division between varsity and JV in about 5-6 days, but that's with going outside every day. This year, I think the first week we only got outside once, so it was tough to get any kids to play challenge matches. We got a couple days this week, and we divided the team up on Tuesday, and we had the largest turnout that I can recall. We had
How many girls?
68.
Oh, wow.
68 kids turn out. Usually, 40 is a good number, and we ended up keeping about 42. So we had to let 26 kids go, which is, I think the first year I came here, we probably didn't have 26 kids on the entire team. So letting that many kids go is tough.
Yeah,
it's not pleasant.
Right. And how do things look?
We've got a match on Monday, and again, we've had so little time outside. We got to be outside yesterday, played some matches. We'll have some issues with eligibility, with getting kids their required practices in. It'll be hard to say. We play Meadowdale. They're a 3A team, but they're always strong. It won't be a counting match, but I'll know more Monday night on how we stand. We're still trying to figure out who's going to play singles, who's going to play doubles. People who've lost their partner through graduation, and we lost a lot of good players. We lost 3 of our 4 singles players from last year, right. So there'll be a big transition that way.
Just so you know, my Edmonds News will be covering the match Monday at Meadowdale. We'll have a photographer there. Any freshmen or sophomores make varsity?
No freshmen made varsity this year.
Okay.
We do have some sophomores who moved up. I think, off the top of my head, I think we have three that I know of for sure. There might be a couple more. I'm still learning names.
Okay.
At this point, there's a lot of kids out there.
How's the coaching going? Do you have some assistant coaches?
Dave Millette is the JV coach. This is his second year back. So he's been around it for a while. He's getting used to dealing with large numbers, and we've worked together for a while. So that makes it a little bit easier.
Uh-huh. And what do you know about the other schools around the area here? Who's going to be the team to beat?
Well, the league has totally changed this year. Where it used to be a combined Wesco North, Wesco South, this year it's 3A, 4A, and there's a North-South. So there's only 5 teams in our division. There's only 5 teams that count. There's us, Cascade, Mariner, Jackson, and Kamiak. So everything else is no count, but we play all those teams twice. Jackson's always tough. Kamiak was the only team that beat us last year. Fortunately, they beat us in the one that didn't count. We beat them in the one that did count, so that made a difference. I would suspect they would be good again. Cascade's kind of an unknown. We haven't played them in the past. Mariner has typically been a weaker school, but they seem to be getting better every year. So, kind of hard to say. With so few teams, there's not a lot of room for mistakes.
Right. And then on your boys team, going back to the boys, how many seniors are you losing there?
Oh, we're losing a few. Young Ha, who was #1 singles, we're going to lose. I think we had probably about 20 on varsity, and I would think that we're probably losing, off the top of my head, between 6 and 8 something like that. I mean, spread fairly well throughout.
Okay.
So.
And how are the finances for the tennis? Are there? We got an auction coming up. My Edmonds News is supporting the auction. And,
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll know more in a week. I guess the nice part is that we don't have a lot of needs. We don't have big demands. So that's the good news. The bad news is it seems like the girls are doing fairly well. I was a little bit nervous a couple days ago, but after talking with our parent rep, Sandy O'Brien, at the parent meeting Tuesday night, I felt a little bit better about it. We've got some donations coming in that look like they're going to be fairly attractive items. I don't know how well the boys are doing. We haven't had a boys rep, so we may be a little weak on that. My ultimate goal is, I think I maybe mentioned this to you before, but it's not a short-term goal, but over the next few years, I would love to be able to generate enough money to put lights on those courts out there. And while it's a real expensive endeavor, we're probably talking about $30,000 would be my guess to light those courts, especially since it's an odd configuration. But Scott Sheldon's dad, I don't know if you remember him. Scott played here a few years ago. He worked with the school district to get the power grid capable. Earlier, we didn't even have the capability to put in lights because the grid couldn't handle it. That's done, so now we've got capability for it. My thought is, and this was originated in better economic times, my thought was that if our tennis teams could generate $10,000, if the boys could generate $5,000, the girls could generate $5,000, that we could get the district to match that $10,000. That would get us up to 20, and then I was hoping that the city of Edmonds would come through with 10,000 because the public uses these courts on a regular basis as well. And then we'd have our $30,000.